Hello, my name is Omar Rabasad. I'm going to give you a sample of the torture that's being carried on at 25 Bamberg Circle, and everybody knows. So directed energy weapons are being used. I mentioned in one of my other blogs or tweets that I read somewhere that policemen are being hit with lasers. So that's unfortunate. Of course, I don't agree with that. But it proves that lasers and microwaves are being used to harass people. So, considering that the cops are running this program because they flagged me and are containing me with these microwave technologies, and which include lasers in some cases, they're laser stings as I sleep at night, my foot, my eyes. So all kinds of sonic technologies are being experimented with to contain. So targets are used for practice, target practice. So this is intended to be rolled out, seeing that 5G is a weapon, really a weapon system. So 5G is only going to be one of the many ways directed energy weapons are being used, will be used to contain. You wouldn't need the police anymore, which is what is behind the defund the police program. Because this agenda is a step-by-step agenda. Just like breaking down somebody to take them over is a step-by-step agenda, like they're doing with me and many other targets around the world, whistleblowers, journalists, and so on. Or anybody who pisses somebody off, excuse my language, who crosses somebody who has the access to the technology. They can, they can access the program and put the person in, and put the person on a list and have somebody choose them and degrade their lives and dispose of them, torture them, dispose of them. So so back to 5G. So the 5G is just is a weapon system. So it's one of the many ways that directed energy weapons could be used to contain. So you don't need a military force. You don't need the police force. Everybody will be chipped. And unfortunately, that's going to happen whether we like it or not. And my nose is being played with. You see, it feels like something is moving in my nose, and really there is nothing. What there is a beam, as I just demonstrated. It's it distracts you. It's meant to distract you and make you look stupid. Because when you're distracted, then your attention is not focused on what you're saying, and you make mistakes. So you look stupid. And this is the whole thing. This is the whole idea behind it. Anyway, so sonic technologies, back to directed energy weapons, sonic technologies, haptic technologies, infrared technologies to image you, ultrasonic technologies to image and to hit you. Lasers, microwaves, tasers, and the list goes on. And there are more and more coming on board every day. There are several new so-called non-lethal weapons that are given to the police, but are not disclosed to the public that they do have it. And of course, criminals can get it on the black market. All right, so I was going to show you the tagging, and my chest is tagged, and I'm in pain. So I'm going to take my blood pressure reading to show the pain level. And this has been going on all night, and last night was really, really bad. Last night I was pulsed to the point where my body was convulsing. And the people outside the window, I was actually talking about it. The person was talking about what he was actually doing to somebody else. So, yeah, the two goes together. The verbal harassment and the remote harassment, they both go together. Because these things are planned. They have meetings and they sit down and they discuss what they're going to do. And then when they do it and they record it, because it's all recorded, they converse about it outside the window to make you look stupid, to harass you, to make you feel helpless. Look what we are doing to you, and you don't have any recourse. You can't do anything about it. So 136 over 92. So high blood pressure, which corresponds to high electrical readings on the hand, high electrical and high RF readings as well. See this number here? I just got pulse, so the electrical reading is high. So this went on all night. And as I mentioned before, when this figure is high and combined with this number going up, increasing, it penetrates the body. The electrical currents penetrates the body. It's not on the surface of the skin anymore. I suspect that something like radar is being used, body penetrating radar. And it hits your internal organs, such as the heart. And the electrical component affects the rhythm of the heart. The electrical current that travels through the heart in a certain pattern and a certain rhythm that gives that sinus pattern, that up and down pattern. The signals are interrupted. So, and I showed many instances of that with the oximeter that I got yesterday, and it shows it really clearly, and I'll demonstrate that again. The sinus rhythm is interrupted and it goes flat. And then when it starts up again, it goes very erratically. And it goes at a higher pulsing rate. The strength of the pulse is higher. So the electrical currents that I just showed you, this is the source of the electricity in the body that is causing the irregular heartbeat, the interruption of the electrical current that is supposed to flow through the heart in a certain way, in a certain pattern. So it goes through one ventricle, and then it goes through another part of the heart, and the heart pulses. My understanding of what I read. It's not alarming that there are signals there. And also when my nose is pulsed, it triggers your sinuses and it starts running, basically. Yeah, so these signals interrupts your heart. Now, if you have a valve problem, and I have a compromise, I just got a pulse on the thighs. There it is right there. If you have a compromised valve, these signals, and these signals are interrupted, like I just demonstrated, you have a very, very high chance of getting a heart attack because it interrupts the signals. The heart goes into arrhythmia. If it doesn't come back into arrhythmia and you don't have any paddles or anybody around to resuscitate, you will die, basically. If it happens in your sleep, and you could be sleeping next to somebody and the person wouldn't know, you fall asleep and you just drop into unconsciousness, and your heart will stop, basically, and slip into unconsciousness and you die. It's a good death, but as far as I'm concerned, there are a whole lot of things to be done still in my lifetime before I give up my ghost. So I'd like to prevent that from happening. So as long as possible, anyways. Um, I mean, living with debt is not unusual. A lot of people have cancers, a lot of people have strokes. They live with the idea that they can pass away anytime. And after a certain age, that idea is in your head more than when you're younger. Isn't it amazing when you're 6 years old, you think you're going to live forever? And the concept of death doesn't even enter your mind. That's where the youthfulness comes from. I really think that if we keep that state of mind, that we're not going to age, and don't even think of a topic such as aging, we will not age. I really do think so. But anyway, that's another topic for another day. So today I'm concentrating on these signals. And I just got a scan, so I just showed you the high electrical reading on the hand. I showed you the tagging of the chest. So the heart is tagged. Which explains that number. So I'm going to take my pressure one more time. And right here is hurting because it's tagged. The muscle is sore. The actual muscle is sore. And I just burped because this is causing heat internally and causing gas. And sure enough, 133/90, the pulse went up to 104, and there is an arrhythmia, irregular heartbeat notification, which would make sense. Okay, so I'm going to put my finger in this oximeter. I'm going to show you. What an irregular heartbeat looks like. Okay, so see that flat line there? It flatlined. There is a solid graph there. That's what irregular heartbeat looks like. So that's your sinus rhythm, the pulses. The bar that's pulsing up and down is showing the strength of the pulse. So see how irregular the spikes, the heights of the spikes are? They're flat, almost flat, then high. So the oxygen saturation is 97. My heart rate is 100, and it's fluctuating, 101. So the heart rate is fluctuating quite widely, 95. So it's 104 here. So that's at 427. It's now 428. So it's 100. So it's pulsing through a range of numbers there, the heart rate. So you have 101, 102, 100, 99, 98, 96, 95, 94. Okay. So that's this number here. This number here. So this is the saturation. This number is the saturation, and it's supposed to be between 95 and 100, so that's fine. The PI number is the saturation of the finger, the finger that's inserted into the oximeter. And that is supposed to be anywhere between 1 and I think I read 20, which is very, very strong. So mine is ranging from 1 to, at night, sometimes it goes up to 17. So it's all over the place. The PI is all over the place. And it went down to 97. So 104 to 87. And you notice this here, the pulses, each one representing a pulse of the heart. High, low, high, low, high, low. That's arrhythmia. So the pulse and the scan that I got increased the numbers to this. So the pressure, 133 over 90, and the heart rate went up to 104, my pulse rate. So it's cycling through from 86 to 104. Irregular heart rate. All in a sitting position without any activity. So, but the oxygen saturation, the blood oxygen saturation is fine. So these signals definitely have a deadly effect on your heart, on the operation of your heart, how it works. And if you have an underlying condition, as I said, like, and it doesn't have to be a major condition, age-related valve problem, because everybody's valves are going to age. And it's going to would not work as though you're at 60, as if you're 16 years old. If you have anything a little bit more major than that, this technology, this tracking technology, this experimentation with people using microwave technology, using lasers, is deadly. It's attempted murder, and that is not a joke. It's a fact. If this goes on at night and I'm fast asleep, first of all, it will put me under. When the blood pressure drops, and it does, it can shut down my heart, basically. It can go so low that you can pass out. You'll fall asleep and you will not get up. So I have people in this building who are tracking me at night and who are logging on to me at night. They're logging on to me at night and are openly talking about it outside the window. I know who they are. They're telling me who they are. They're also telling me that they're passing me around to other men to log on, meaning that they're imaging technology around my unit. And if they're doing it to me and it's trafficking, then you better believe that they're doing it to others in the building. And they also are being trafficked, that they're being trafficked with consent. With consent. I'm not consenting. Doing just the opposite, I'm exposing it. There's never going to be any consenting because this is an enslavement program. Nobody wants to be a slave. And that's the number there. So the systolic, the diastolic, and the pulse are very close. And I'm finding that a lot. I'm not sure what that means. I really don't know what that means. I'm sure it means something. I just, I tried to figure it out, but I couldn't. So there's a flat line for you. And I'm not sure if it's related to these close numbers, 95 and 96, the pulse and the diastolic number being so close. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, it's still going up and down, and see that? See how high those spikes are? And then the other set is going to be low. And I think I just flatlined there. Okay, well, don't look at that because actually I'm taking my blood pressure and it aired out. Okay, so ignore that that solid bit there that you just saw because the arm was constricted. So it would seem that when the arm is constricted, it affects when the veins are constricted, it affects the numbers. So that's a good point. The microwaves that are used compresses the veins. It affects the veins and the arteries, especially at the surface of the skin and just underneath the skin. So if the PI number drops and the saturation number drops, then and while your arm is there's constriction and there's pressure on the arm, then if you find that result is the same as when you're pulsed with high pressure microwaves, then obviously the microwaves are causing constriction and interrupting the flow and restricting the flow of the blood. Did I say that right? Okay. Okay, so let me do that again. There's a parallel between what I'm finding. If I have this on my finger when I take my blood pressure and I inflate the cuffs and it puts pressure on the vein for the sensor to pick up the reading, then these numbers change. So let me demonstrate that for you. Now I just got the oximeter yesterday, so this is new data that I'm accumulating, and another avenue to use, another tool to use, and another avenue of research to understand what is going on. Another window into your body, basically. So the oximeter cost about $40 Canadian, 129 and 88 and 88. So I'm not sure. Those numbers are supposed to be different. But yeah. And on the finger, it's 86. So it's pretty close. So let me do that compression. I'm going to compress the arm here. And see what happens to the bar. It goes flat and there's no reading. Oh, there, it goes flat. So that's compression on the vein. And the cuff's just released. And so what's it's 96. And the pulse here is 93. So keep in mind that there are a few seconds delay. So 144 over 72. High pressure, top figure, indicates pain. My back is killing me. My back is being hit. And that's my back. So the pulse is up to 100. It was 93 on the blood pressure reading. So it's 98. The PI number is 2.5. I'm changing. So that's the back. That's the chest. Okay, so I'm going to put another finger in. And take my blood pressure one more time. So the according to this, the numbers seem to be settling down somewhat. So 131 over 88. I'm just going to take this off and show you the numbers on my hand here like this. So I'm just trying on the other finger. So I haven't had a scan in a few minutes. So it's settled down a bit. See, the pulses are more regular. The saturation is 97. The heart rate is still all over the place. 101 and 83 on the blood pressure monitor. So it's cycling through a whole bunch of numbers there, which is why the monitor is picking up irregular heartbeat. And that is directly because I'm getting scanned at a very high power. Okay, so actually I'm going to close off there. And we'll talk to you another time.